Tokemak is a decentralized market-making protocol that allows liquidity providers to provide liquidity for single assets rather than asset pairs and be completely protected against impermanent loss. It also allows liquidity directors to direct the liquidity the protocol controls to various different DEXs or DAOs that would benefit from that liquidity. Both liquidity providers and liquidity directors earn in the form of APR that is paid out in the native token called Toke, T-O-K-E. Now let's see how this works. You can either provide liquidity in pair reactors, which include ETH and a bunch of stablecoins, or you can provide liquidity in token reactors. These include projects that have been voted upon by the Tokemak DAO and that have applied for opening their own reactors on Tokemak, such that liquidity for those particular tokens could be provided. What happens is when people stake tokens in the token reactors, and then liquidity directors use the tokens to vote on where this liquidity is provided, they also vote on what to pair that token with. So in the case of Sushi, they will vote on whether Sushi should be paired with ETH or DAI. And then they will vote on where this liquidity is provided, such as SushiSwap or Uniswap or some other new decentralized exchange. Let's deposit some DAI. So you go on this, you click on deposit DAI, and just for the sake of it, let's deposit 2 DAIs. Now that the DAI has been deposited, we can see that great. Now that the DAI has been deposited, I can see that I have both some ETH and some DAI that is being staked on the protocol, and I am acting as a liquidity provider within pair reactors. In exchange for the liquidity that I'm providing, I get a 4% APR on my deposits. Now we see that you can get 45% APR on your deposits if you stake your tokens and then use them to vote on how this liquidity should be directed. Let's do that. So you can see that the approval for the transaction has been successfully submitted, but stake and vote needs to be clicked on again in order to actually make the transaction go through. So that's what we will do. Great. Now we're successfully staking our token. It'll take some time for the votes to appear, and once the votes appear, we can start choosing using in the same way that we did before. We can start choosing where to put our votes on. It could be on ETH, and that would determine kind of the likelihood of ETH being chosen as a liquidity pair. So when the votes appear, we can choose where to put our votes on. If we go all the way down to the pair reactors, let's say we choose to put our votes in Sushi, what that allows us to do is then earn an APR in return for staking our token, providing that vote, as well as choosing what to pair sushi with, and where to direct that liquidity. So that is it. The decentralized market making protocol that protects liquidity providers against impermanent loss, and that allows you to not just become a liquidity provider, but also a liquidity director, and choose where the protocol's liquidity is directed. This is DeFi 2.0 at its best. Check out Tokemak.